Your CEO just asked your new chatbot a simple question, and it lied to him. It wasn't a small lie. The AI reported that Q3 revenue was $50 million. The real number, $35 million. Why? The AI read a raw table that included canceled orders and failed transactions, and it did exactly what it was trained to do. It summed it all up. The CEO isn't blaming your AI. He's looking at you, asking why the data platform that you spent $500,000 on can't answer a simple question. And here's the rub. The AI didn't fail. Your data engineering practices did. And in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to give you a 4-step blueprint and show you the brutal truth of what you need to do that I know most of you don't in order to prevent this, and how to make sure that you can track down problems if they do happen again. But first, we need to define semantic modeling, because I know that as soon as I said that, a bunch of engineers started nodding their heads. If you are defining your relationships and logic inside a BI tool's GUI, that is not semantic modeling. That is vendor lock-in. And more importantly, it is an invisible wall to your AI. So let's define semantic modeling the way you need to think about it in 2026. It's the universal translator. It's the practice of pulling out your business logic and explicitly defining it. What is revenue? What is an active user? Out of the dashboard and into the code, it creates a single source of truth where metrics are defined once in YAML or Python, and this matters because context is the only thing separating your data from just noise. Without it, your AI is just guessing. For the last 10 years, we've treated documentation like a chore. We write lazy descriptions in our scripts. Maybe we have skeleton README files. Most likely, though, the documentation just doesn't exist at all. We leave columns named TS_1 or status_ID without the context, assuming that if a human gets confused, they'll just ping us and ask, hey, what does this column mean? And what is this table really used for? AI can't slack you. When an LLM looks at your database, it lacks the knowledge that you have in your head. It doesn't know that is active actually means logged in within the last 30 days. It doesn't understand that revenue is only calculated after the finance verified flag is set to true. Juniors think that documentation is busy work. Seniors never got in the habit, and leads are exhausted about preaching about it. The engineers that will be successful from here on out are the ones that treat documentation as the API for your AI. If you feed an LLM raw tables without semantic context, you are not building an intelligent agent. You are building a random number generator that will get you fired and drive bad business decisions. There's one more thing that will get you fired faster than a wrong number: not knowing where the number came from. We already know that AI models are black boxes. We don't fully know how they think. Your data pipeline is also probably a black box because you have no lineage. You've created a black box squared. Imagine this scenario. The CEO calls you and says, why did the AI just tell me that the revenue was $50 million? You reply, I don't know. I queried the warehouse, but I'm not sure which table it hit or which version of the transformation logic it used. That is your resignation letter right there. Lineage is your flight recorder. When the AI hallucinates, you need column level lineage in order to see exactly what data was fed into the context window. Did it pull from the raw orders underscore V1 table or the curated fact orders table? Without automated lineage, you are letting a blind robot run through a maze. You can't fix the error because you can't find the error. Let's look at the difference. I ran an A/B test on a standard orders table. Here's scenario 1. Here's the input. We gave the AI a raw orders table. It has a column for total amount and status. Here's the prompt that we gave it. What is the average order value? Here's the failure that occurred. The AI wrote this query. So why is this wrong? It included canceled orders. It included test orders. It included returns. And the result, the number was off by 40%. This is called a schema linking failure. The AI linked the word value to the column amount, but it missed the invisible filter that defines a valid order. Let's look at scenario B. I call this the Semantic Architect approach. Here's the input. We fed the AI a semantic layer using tools like dbt and metric flow cube. Here's the context. We didn't give it tables. We gave it metrics. In the code, we defined average order value as the sum of the amount divided by the count of the ID, with a filter where status equals complete and is test equals false. Here's the prompt. What is the average order value? The result here, the AI didn't try to write SQL math. It queried the metric API. It asked the semantic layer for the average order value, and it grouped by month. The outcome, it got the exact number matching the CFO's dashboard. No hallucination, no risk. Here's the verdict. Scenario A creates some liability. Scenario B creates actual value with your AI. You need to stop thinking of context as something you do when you have time. You need to treat it as your production infrastructure. Here's the production grade fix. Number 1, no docs, no AI. If a data set does not have 100% coverage on column description, the AI agent is banned from accessing it. Number 2, build out your semantic layer. Stop letting the AI guess what the SQL is. Abstract your logic into a semantic layer and force the AI to query the metrics, not the tables. Enforce lineage. Implement observability. If an AI agent answers a question, it must log exactly which semantic nodes it accessed. You need a paper trail for the hallucinations when they occur so that you could trace back what happened and troubleshoot and prevent it from happening again. Number 4, metadata is the prompt. Rewrite your documentation. Don't just say this is the timestamp. This timestamp represents the moment the transaction cleared the bank. Use this for revenue recognition. You are writing system prompts, not just comments. This setup costs you probably an extra week of engineering time up front, but it is way cheaper than the lawsuit that you're going to face when your AI hallucinates some compliance breach. The industry is splitting. On one side, you have pipe builders who move data from A to B. They are about to be automated. On the other side, you have semantic architects, engineers who really intimately understand that meaning is the most valuable asset a company has. If you want to survive the next 5 years, stop obsessing over syntax and start obsessing over context. I'm going to be diving deeper into how to architect a semantic layer that actually scales in the next few videos that I do. If you don't want to get left behind, you know what to do. And in the meantime, if you want to make sure that you're not making the top 10 mistakes the data engineers make, watch this right now.